We did all the investigating, and today it is time for the trial to see who killed Mia. September 7th, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom number 1. And there is Edgeworth. Court is now in session for a trial of Mrs. Maya Fay. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. He's my opponent, the 20-year-old genius who forges his evidence. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I'd better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fay, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. The prosecution calls the chief officer of the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Gumshoe, witness. Please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective in charge of the homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. How? The body was found by this window here, and the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the finger found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. They're still calling it a statue, and we know it's a clock. Floor plans added to the court record. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Mrs. Fay, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Time for his testimony. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Mrs. Maya Fay, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Mrs. Maya Fay. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Mrs. Maya Fay at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Ah, yes, that's suspicious. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in the testimony. Whoosh! Smack! How am I supposed to do so? Side effects, did I? Okay, fair enough. Have your side effects. Hey! Maya just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. Heh, I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Let's go, we're getting saved again. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Maya Fay's arrest. The witness saw Mrs. Maya Fay at the very moment of murder. Let's press this. That seems suspicious. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence. She did it, correct? Huh? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. You said it. Exactly. What about this suspicious woman in pink's claim was hard evidence? What? This May is suspicious and she sure isn't pink, pal. Well, I guess she is pink. That's enough. Detective Gumshoe, do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Sorry. I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, detective. Let's hear her testimony again. Not again. This is such a scam. I just get to tell the same story, but change it. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Blood tests showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger before she died. The victim wrote the killer's name. There's corruption. Bang bang. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, detective. Your Honor, why don't you testify with this vital piece of evidence the first time? I know, I'm real embarrassed. I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. More cross-examination. I don't know what's suspicious here. I need to find out what's suspicious. Let's press this. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. There's no proof of that. Detective Gumshoe, do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's names? Sure. It happens all the time in books and in movies. This isn't a movie, detective. Oof. Let's talk about reality, shall we? I guess I haven't heard of many cases, no. Don't you find it a little odd that the victim would write down the name, especially the name of her own sister? Yeah, actually. You got a point, pal. Stop right there. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. No, that's still speculation. Order. That didn't go so well. That's right. What is it? That's his whole testimony. Okay, there has to be a contradiction in there somewhere. Let's find it. Wait. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. But then we have a testimony on the phone. And we know that Mia invited Maya. So what happens here? This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are that evidence and the statement just now related? They aren't, are they? Not at all. Damn it! Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations. Now, found a written memo. Let's press him on this. Just because you found it next to a body doesn't mean the victim wrote it. Uh-huh. And who did write it, smarty pants? Who? The killer. The killer. Anyone can see that. Huh. They're saying the killer wrote her own name. Buddy, please. She was framed. Hold on. If that's the case, where's your evidence? I guess that was a bit of a tall order for you. What was the right evidence? Shouldn't have opened their mouths, Mr. Wright. Yeah, pal. Okay, I found it. Okay, I know what it is. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name, but she couldn't have, because the death was instantaneous. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note, but she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying. What? Isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, detective. But backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way of this one, detective. Order. The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. That's right. I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? What? When? The day after the murder, right? Met him the next day. That was the day after the murder. Prosecution's point being, that autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday. At my request, death was almost immediate, due to a blow from a blunt object. No, he's scamming his way through this. But there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. He's just hacking the system here, being smuggled with. Why, Mr. Wright? You look shocked. Something you want to say? You're a sham, Edgeworth. The detective is a sham. I'm a bit of a sham as well. It's all true. Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have had to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Autopsy report. And now I don't have immediate death. Well, Your Honor, evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. And now he bows. Damn you, Edgeworth. Darn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Oh, we're getting Mia in here. Maya, let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. It's the wrong person. I'm stupid. Exactly what part of her is innocent? She's all pink and cute and fluffy. Of course she's innocent. At least she pretends to be. And there she is. Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service. Is it being a distraction? Order. Obstruction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Oh, yes, Your Honor. This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Were no women in this courtroom? Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th, when the murder occurred? I was like, my hotel room? I checked in right after lunch. This hotel room is directly across from the Fay & Co. law offices. That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court about what you saw, and don't call them big boy. Okay, let's see what she has to say. It was like 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know, and then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. And one attacker was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she got up to run, and she hit her. And the woman with the long hair, she kinda slumped at the end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy. She is being a distraction. Well, Your Honor, I see. Is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any— Wait, Your Honor! I get my board here, no? Yes, Mr. Wright. What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm. Didn't you? He's being an old pervert here. He's being convinced. Mr. Wright, I understand you were Mrs. Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Of course. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination, if only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Where is this acquaintance? She meant to have died right at 9, right? But right 9, I guess, is fine. Well, let's press her with the time anyway. Why did you do that? Huh? Why? Like, why what? Why did you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Oh, well, gee. What? That's it? She can't get out of this question that easily. I sort of, No, they don't get to do that. That's not an answer. I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Let's see how far I can run with this. Surely, you must have had a reason to look out your window at that time of night. Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness. But badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Yeah, stop him! Shut up, crowd! The poor girl, shut up! Order. Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl? What about poor me? Exactly! It's like everyone versus me. Oh wait, this one, how could she see her? It was dark at night. How do you know she was a defendant? Huh? Well, you know, she had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime. A short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. No, why he's not? There was a killer. I wasn't Maya. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. What? Miss Maya, I'm willing to bet that you saw nothing. Did you really see the defendant at all? Huh? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me because I'm clueless. What does I mean? If you had really witnessed the kind, Maya Fay, you would have noticed her clothes before nosing her physique. Huh? Exactly. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her, and I'm no expert on fashion. But her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus. But... Still, you don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, because I saw her. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. Hey, exactly. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl. I promise. Stop blinking. This is a court of law. I'm not listening to the voluptuous woman's testimony again, if you would. Damn. I almost had her. Okay, but she has to restate, so we'll see something new. I did see everything. I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her, and she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. But clock. The kind of statue-y clock. The thinker, I think. How does she know it's a clock? It looks just like a statue, unless you open it. Well, that's why I usually have my report not startle you. I see. I only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. Okay, so can we press this? How does she know it's a clock? Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing. Revealing? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer. You just said that this statue of a thinker was a clock, but there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too, and he was found guilty of murder. Oh yes, we're getting her now. Order. Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. No, I won't. But questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. It doesn't seem present. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Phew, that was close. He stopped me there. The trial will be over. Huh? What? So what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? Huh? What? That's because I heard it. Yes, I heard it say the time. From a window? Across the street? So, you've been to the law offices of Fay & Co? No! Hey, I didn't say that! Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. The law offices in Fay & Co where the murder took place. It's very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? Of course not. No, Your Honor. I'm not satisfied because it couldn't have wrong! Because it's filled with papers! Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. It's empty! That clock is missing its clockwork! Exactly! How could you possibly? Just take a look. Right now. Oh. See anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It's as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have run. Therefore, this witness is a big, fat liar. Fat? That's what she cares about. Well, Miss May. Huh? Quite a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow. He knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clock removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Impossible. Of course. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clockwork was removed is my cell phone. with a conversation in it. Take a look at this. Huh? That's a very cute cell phone. Oh, you have a girly phone. It's not mine. Wait. This isn't my phone. Listen, this is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order, the defendant's cell phone. This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. Good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. Let's hear the conversation. So you just want me to hold onto the thinker for you then? If you could. I should probably tell you. The clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clock right. Sorry. September 5th, 9:27 AM. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded, which was well before the witness ever arrived at her hotel. Huh? Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock? Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to somewhere. Oops. I forgot. Stop! It's not a store. Larry Butts made it. So when the witness has seen it before, that would make sense. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright? Of course. The witness claims she has seen it before, but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. This clock was never in any store. Ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world. And the one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible! Everything is sold in stores. Miss May, I think it's time you went shopping for a better excuse. Excuse is not on sale today. Oh, she's going crazy. She went mental. She's mad. What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die! Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm. Slimy. I guess I did. Scary. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have no opinion on this? Behavior? Okay. This is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. It's April May. He knew the weapon was a clock because he had heard about it. Or he held it. The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard. That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me the evidence proving that the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock. A wiretap. She heard it. Have a look at this. I found this in Miss May's room. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Mrs. Mia Faye's phone, were you not? Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure of what it is. Objection overruled. It troubled me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Will the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely, even if that was the case, which it's not. You still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What? Well, it's here. It's a clock. I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Beep. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually there's something I want you to hold on to for me. Again? What's it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like the statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. There we go. Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong? Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May, shut up! All of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You liar! This is mental. It's not fair. All of you gang up on me like that. Oh, sorry for bastard. That's about it. I just crying. That did. The court's seen for ill Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. You did, didn't you, Miss May? Why is it you little shrimp? Talk to me in that dull voice, will you? You killed her, didn't you? What? How can you possibly say that? Are you mad? All I did was a little wiretapping. Oops. So you admit you tapped her phone? Wait, I didn't do anything bad like murder. I'm a good girl. Really? Can you prove it? No way she can prove it. You think you're so smart, Mr. Lawyer, but I can prove it. I will. You can't be serious. No way. Hey, I say. Wait. Oh, and I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Huh? Okay, so the killing happened around 9 at night. Why? That's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee? You know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, fine smells, and then you have regular cough. If this is a murder case and we're discussing iced coffee, then iced cough. Think I'm making it up? Ask a bellboy. Ergo, the witness was on the scene at the time of the murder. So, where does that leave us? It is my greatest pleasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime, with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, IFA, commit murder. No, we're going to let her just walk away. There's no way I can win this unless I tie Miss May to the murder, somehow. What? Does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on. Think of something. We call the bellboy as a witness. The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as well. Witness. There's something suspicious here. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think you've sunk quite low enough already. I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the kill. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition? If Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after we examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer. Thus, she is innocent, and thereby, you must also accept the verdict of guilt for Mrs. May Faye. That is my condition. What? I'd better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, May will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? Well, I can't just give up, so I have to accept the condition. Alright. I've got nothing to lose. Step 4. Well, everything. Understood. I accept your condition. Fool. You feel right into my trap. Uh-oh. Very well. The court called the hotel bellboy to the stand, and we shall examine him in the next episode.